Welcome everybody back with another Remnant 2 video. My name is Term Knight, bringing you another, or actually an updated medic guide, and this time it's with the all-powerful Invoker class paired with the healing shield. I have made the healing shield classes before. You can look at my previous videos. I think it has been very successful, but I think with this Invoker class, it just made it 100 times better. Let me show you what we got going on here. I'm gonna explain the archetype. By the way, right here, Visionary Spirit of Healing. Love the name. Good job. Good job, Arc Games. You know, previously known as Gunfire Games, but all right. So the Invoker class, we are using it as a prime perk, using the prime perk, and what it does is it doubles the base skill charge for all archetypes, and skill activation reduces all skill cooldowns by 6%. Now remember, with the healing shield, you want it up. You just want to spam the heck out of it. Especially it works in Apocalypse and Nightmare and Apocalypse. I've tested it. And then the second class is, of course, the medic. We've been through this 100 times, so I'm not really going to focus on the medic class. All you got to know is we're using the healing shield. So the Invoker class, it has 4 perks. We really don't use all of it, but I'm going to show you why the Way of Keula is the best one for this rotation. So when you throw a tidal wave and it does elemental damage, and then it gives you a 45-meter circle. And the reason why we brought it up to 45 meters is because of one of the traits that's going to expand the aura range. And on top of that, it'll drench enemies. And while they're drenched, their movement speed is reduced by 10%, and every few seconds you get lightning strikes. What you don't know is that these lightning strikes can crit, and these lightning strikes can uh, do bring more cooldown to your skills. I'm going to show you how all that plays. Now, if you don't want to use this one, you can use the healing aura one. It does work well. You just gotta put in extra work for those skill cooldowns. That's all I'm saying. This one, you can just spam both the healing shield and the tidal wave back and forth. The first perk increases skill damage by 15% and elemental damage by 7.5%. I'm only level 5, but the next level, it also gives you skill and elemental critical hit chance by 5%. So that's even going to help the tidal wave even more to get those crits. Communion reduces skill cooldowns by 1% for every 3 seconds. Once every 3 seconds for allies while your Invoker skill is active. Your Invoker skill will be active 100% of the time. So you're gonna give your allies skill cooldown. Mind and Body increases movement speed by 5%. While your Invoker skill is active, you're gonna literally have this up 100% of the time. And Soothsayer on relic use extend the duration of Invoker skills by 20%. We will not use this actually at all. We won't even use a relic heart. I can promise you. You won't need it. So let's just get right into the loadout. So I made a few changes. We're gonna start with the Tranquil Heart, and the reason why is because we need to counteract this burden of the Stargazer. When you activate a skill, it's gonna cost you 15% health. Honestly, because enemies hit hard, we need to gain our health back relatively quickly. So we're going with the Tranquil Heart, and with the 3 relics we're gonna use is the not relics, the whatever these are called. But yeah, these things. We're gonna use the Mythic Shield effectiveness. So when you pop your healing shield, you're gonna gain another 20% shield. So it's kind of like a 1.2 multiplier. So you're gonna get 120% of shield. Then we're gonna use skill cooldown and skill duration. For the amulet, we're still using the legacy protocol. It'll reduce skill cooldowns by 20%, and increase skill duration by 15%. Burden of the Stargazer reduces more skill cooldown by 15%. Activating the skill costs 15% health. Burden of the Rebel reduces relic use speed by 25%, reduces skill cooldowns by 15%. Now, the relic use speed, because we are not using relics, this won't matter. We're just going to get the positive of the skill cooldown. Sapphire Dreamstone, this is the bread and butter of getting those skill cooldowns. On critical hits, reduce skill cooldowns by 4%. Can only happen once every 2 seconds. This is going to pop off. Why? Because not only going to have your lightning strikes going off and critting, you're going to have your mods going off and critting. Now, I'm not going to go over the last ring yet. I'm going to wait till the end because it took me a while to figure out what ring to use for that slot. But the fourth ring is choose your own. It's adaptable. I'm forgetting the word right now, but it's replaceable. You can use whatever you want on the fourth ring. We're gonna go and use the Wrangler 1860. We're still using the Familiar. However, we're gonna use the Spell Weaver Mutator. This increases mod damage and mod generation by 15% for 10 seconds when activating the skill. And then at level 10, as Spellweaver is, activating this weapon mod reduces skill cooldowns by 1% for every 100 mod power spent, for a total of 10% because we're using the Familiar. I love this staff. This is the new staff with the new DLC. We're using Dervish, and what this does is it'll increase your melee damage by 40% for 10 seconds after activating a skill. Now, you need more skill cooldown? Just deal 350 base melee damage, and it'll reduce your skill cooldowns by 3%. It's literally just one charge attack, and you're good to go. Or 3 hits. And we're using the Nebula. This also crits the Nanoswarm, and we're using the feedback modifier. So using this weapon mod generates 20% mod power of a single use charge as passive mod power for 10 seconds, and mod damage generates 15% of base damage dealt as mod power. So you just pop this, switch back to the Wrangler, pop off, and keep shooting. Now, the ring. I have used and been testing a bunch. I have went with the excess coil. So it says here, when activating the skill, grants a shield for 25% of max health. Basically, it's like a shield and a half now. Instead of 120%, it's literally basically 150% shield. At a 1.5% multiplier. So you'll have a shield and a half. Gives you more sustainability, more durability in those fights. Now, this, you do not have to use this one. What you can use is you could go back to the Stone of Continuance. This will prolong your tidal wave and also prolong your shield for maybe another second or two. You can also try the Encrypted Ring. Using a mod generates 20% of max health over 10 seconds. This is also good because it'll help basically nullify the 15% health cost reduction when you use a skill. Because you're going to be spamming skills, you need to find a way to gain that health back relatively quickly. You can also use Generating Band, because we're going to have shields. When you have a shield, you'll regenerate 3% of your max health per second while the shield is active. Or the final ring, Stream Coupler, where using the skill regenerates 25% max health over 10 seconds. In my personal opinion, you could go Excess Coil or Stream Coupler. I like both of these. If you don't want the 1.5% multiplier for the shield, then use this one. But either one works. What you could also do is, if you don't want any of these, right? You're managing your skills correctly. You know, you're not spamming it as much as you want. Then honestly, I rather you go Dead King's Memento to increase your health, or Seal of the Empress to increase your health, or Ring of the Robust. The more health you have, the better your shield's gonna be. So those are all the rings I would recommend for the fourth slot. Again, it's up to you. If you guys have any different choices for this build, please let me know. And last but not least, we are gonna go over the traits. So I'm not maxed out yet, but obviously we're gonna have 30% skill duration at level 10. We have Fortify, Flash Caster, Triage, Vigor, Spirit, Strong Back, just so we could wear a little bit heavier armor for that damage reduction. Regrowth, this is for the health regen. As we're spamming skills, we're gonna regen our health relatively quicker. Skill cooldown for expertise. Amplitude, this is what's gonna help your AoE size and aura range. They actually merged the two. So now your healing shield has a longer radius to hit your allies, and your tidal wave has a larger aura size. And bark skin for the damage reduction. So that is all the traits we're going to be using, and of course, just use a mud tooth elixir for your health, and that's pretty much it, guys. And now let me show you how it all works. This is the best part of the video right here. So we're gonna spam this. As you can see, I'm just spamming along here. And this would definitely work, with any boss and any enemy. See, you can just wait a little bit and pop off. You don't have to spam it right away as you get it, but every 7 to 8 seconds, I would say, use it. And as we're casting our tidal wave, it also resets our cooldown on our shield. And this is the rotation, guys. It works so well. I'm loving this Invoker class. Can't wait to get it maxed at level 10. And how about this? I'm just gonna let the lightning strike hit, and so you're gonna see. Just look at the healing shield. It's gonna keep resetting. As long as it crits, though. And my next crit, there you go, and it crit right there. So it's just so good. So anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the class. Let me know what you guys think as you guys try it out. Peace.